gonna love it. It's sampled from what looks to be a 70s band. That's something that I found out quite. That's why I got real upset when I found Al Green and Bobby Womack. But there's like so many. I'm not saying that both of those are from the 70s, but there's so many 70s soul samples that I clearly am deeply in love with that I didn't realize until I found out. And I was like, what? Ooh, you cut out then, bro. Clear water. By who? Was he? Yeah. Are they dope? Are they good? Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know anything about that period in time, but I've got a theory that there's an awful lot of, I think, in a very small period of time, a timeless amount of music was created, and I believe that to be around the quote unquote Woodstocky festival, original festival, and I hate to say it, heroin induced music. I think there's so much music that's fucking unbelievable that is timeless and will never reproduce. Yeah, because they were just off their face on heroin. And I don't have anything to back that up. Just when you listen to a lot of riffs and stuff and all the like the screeching of the guitars, the piano, the high piano keys, the notes the guys are getting. There's no way you're not high when you're, and I mean like very, like drug induced high when you're producing that. Yeah, well, so I don't know if Jimi Hendrix did, but it's just to make it. I've never taken heroin, but I imagine the kind of euphoric high that it is, the screeching, like that comes from a high from heroin. When I listen to that music, I feel like, yeah, this person made that music when they were. But I could be wrong. I don't think I am, but I could be wrong. Yeah. You get it. You get what I'm saying. I just deleted something because I thought it was low level, but it turned out it was 1250, not 1050. So I deleted it. I was like, oh, that's rubbish. No, not really. I'll be okay. I'll make it.
In war, you must battle the elements as well as the enemy. Even my sturdily designed exos are susceptible to Europa's harsh winters. Remember, while the setting is virtual, the damage done is all too real.
I find the story of some, not a lot, but some musicians quite interesting. Like Al Green, who wasn't he a reverend and was told not to pursue music because it was like the devil's work, and then he went on to make very loving and in some cases sexual music, well, in most cases sexual music, which was the complete opposite as to what he would have been, I don't know, not raised on, but what it would have been normal for his life at that stage, you know? I think that shit's wicked. Whether, I don't know who Robert Johnson is. No clue. Make me hip. Why did he sell his soul to the devil? That's okay. Bloody hell, I've looked him up. I use Tidal. I don't know if you know what that is. To listen to the one that's owned by Jay-Z to listen to music. And normally, actually, I'll print screen this for you just to illustrate the point. normally if you look up an artist, there's like a paragraph of text to tell you what they're about. So I've just looked up your gents. You won't be. No. That's so. This is such a sad thing to say, but that's so funny because that story's clearly been told in Futurama with Fry bets the devil. Yeah, that's the story. Yeah. No, sorry, I don't know the. I don't know the gentleman that you're saying story, but I'm familiar with the story because of Futurama, where Fry beats the devil in the playoff, and then he wins the devil's hand, so he can play the instrument better than anybody else on Earth because he beat the devil in whatever way. No, I haven't. I haven't. But what he says, he sold it. He sold his soul to the. I'm guessing we never really found out what that was, right? Well, yeah, Where's the crossroads? How did he meet the devil? How did he find out the crossroads? Seriously? Oh, bro, we gotta go. Oh, another person went there. Another person. Sorry, no way, no way. It's like repeatable evidence, like scientifically. Yeah, another somebody else did it. And he was shit before and then got better after. Damn. That's fucked up, Jet. Oh, I don't know. I don't know anything about it. So look, and a crossroads is a destination. It's not a. It's a bit of tangible, physical place on the map. It's not a. Oh, yeah, you get it, you get it. Yeah, it's not like he made it in his heart or he's. It's not it. We gotta go. Well, did he go? Just the reason. So the way my brain works is what he would have gone in one day being um, yeah. So my brain said, oh, he would have gone in the day before and purposely been shit. But that doesn't. Unless he knew, so I don't know the context of the story, but unless he knows that he's got the sympathetic ear of the studio repeatedly, it doesn't make sense to go in. So I'm assuming at this time you're recording on roll on fucking analog film. You're not. Then that's going to be my rabbit hole this week. I love a rabbit hole. Yeah. Well, thank you, Jed. That's cool as shit, man. I had no idea. I'm on now. I don't know what that is, dude. I think you think that I think. I think you think that I know more than I know. I know exclusively everything about hip hop and rap. I don't know anything about anything. Although I'll be honest, I'm struggling to listen to rap lately and hip hop. Yeah, it's making me feel unwanted. It's very like anti-white. Yeah, a lot of newer stuff, and the people that I respect from hip hop is very like anti-white, and I'm. This is a horrible thing to say, but I'm through sample size coming to the conclusion that there's no more racist people on earth than black people, which is an awful thing to say. But there's a lot of hate for. I won't stay here very long because it's very boring. It seems as though certain black people have an awful lot of hate for white people who have happened to have been an authority in their life, as opposed to authority. I don't know if that makes any sense. Like they hate white people instead of the person in position of power. It just so happens to me, in the way I interpret things, that the white person was in a position of power. I don't like they was like, label execs of bad people, like, and it'd be like label execs of raping us for our publishing. And you're like, yeah, that's because they're business folk and that's what they do. Yeah, but they're white, so that means all white people are racist. You're like, no, you know they're fucking white people too, right? That's not. That's like. That it's shit like I don't know. That might be a bad example, but it's stuff like that. But it seems as though a lot of music's voice takes the stance of white people are bad, and it's sorry, it's quite a personal thing to share, but it's frustrating me that one of the core pillars of me is kind of like I don't really want to be involved with it anymore because imagine if you felt like all blues singers are all of a sudden like white people are racist and a devil. Like I don't know, that's a bit of a dick thing to say. Like I'm sure some white people are racist, but I can promise you we're not all racist. But yeah. Okay. I just don't understand how you could. There we go. I'm here now. I don't understand how those people could say like, oh, the white people are racist and think they're superior when a lot of white people are sat there quite literally pretending, copying, imitating that culture because they think it's the coolest thing in the fucking world. So if imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, how is somebody racist for trying to copy you? That doesn't make any sense to me. Anyway, sorry, I really went off then. Sorry, dude. Of course, and that's the point. Well, I truly do. That's it. Well, I truly do consider myself to be lucky to have a buddy like you know so much about music. Where I'll say like, oh, this is this, and it meant a lot. You said you're like, oh, I think you've got a knack for spotting good music. It meant a lot to me because I don't know anything about music, and I think you know a lot about music, or certainly you seem to know as. There we go. You know what? That's it. That's the same as me. I know what it's the other one. Yeah. Anyway, and it just bothers me that someone would be so like, white people are the devil, or someone will take the view of, oh, if you voted for Trump, then you're racist. Yeah, well, that's not how that works. Anyway, that's a completely different conversation. But I've struggled lately where I'm just like, fucking hell, bro, I'm white and I listen to music, and I'm not. Just so you know, I'm not a raging fucking racist. fact, I think the fact that you've met 4 white people who were executives and thought, you know, well, these guys are robbing bastards, all white people are racist. I'm kind of finding that pretty prejudiced, to be honest with you. Like, I kind of feel like you really hit me with the same brush. Which if I got robbed once by a black guy, then looked at every other black guy after and said, fucking hell, these guys are going to rob me, you'd be the first one to say to me, oh, you'd be a racist there, bro. What black people are saying. If that makes sense, that might be a better way. There you go. Now you understand what that might. Big hairy fairy motherfucker. Not fairy. Yeah, well, you don't know that, do you? They could be the softest motherfuckers in the world. Well, that's one of my. So one of my as I've grown a little bit, I feel like I grow older every. That's a bad thing to say, older. But I think this happens to every human being. Like in your 30s, you start like learning shit by yourself, and you're paying more attention to the world. And somebody would say to me, you know, like in a past life, I would say a prejudice, you know, so judging a situation before you get there is a bad thing. And that sounds sensible. But now I'm 30, and I've been beaten up by Somalis all my life for being white. I have a particular view that is, well, no, I'm happy with my prejudice. If I see a gang of fucking Somali kids walking down the road, I've got muscle memory that tells me that's a bad situation. Like, these guys might try and jump you. Now, that's not great for every Somali I'll ever meet. But for me, right then, it says, do you know what, bro? This could be a bad situation. That's a good thing. That's sensible. That's like you've paid attention to what's happened, and you're willing to use that research. Yeah, that's it. And that's what you just said then. You should only judge if you've got personal information that tells you. Ooh, maybe not. Anyway, sorry, I felt like I got up with Trump off. Than what you're anticipating. But yeah, if you're experiencing a circle, that's right, Nate. Read the room. Thank you. I like that. Read the room. But yeah, anyway. Yeah, so that's bothering me lately. Anyway, what's the point of all that? I took us off there a little bit. That's been kind of like pissing me off. I feel like, I don't know, judged and thrown under the bus because of the color of my skin, even though I didn't ask for it. And I'm sure the same person that's judging me for the color of my skin will probably find out I love that culture, their culture, this culture as much as fucking the next guy. Again, in further, you know, blues music, pop music, fucking what, German lederhosen music. Oh, you can't listen to that because you're not German. What? Shut up. Music is a feeling, man. It's the way you want to play. Yeah, it's an emotion. It's something you got to play, and they put that energy down on wax, and you've got the luxury of, you know, if you listen properly, you've got the luxury of reliving that feeling. Yeah, for sure. I get you. Sorry, bro. I went well off on the deep end then. Couple of beers and playing Nightfall's Concentrate, and I just got lost. Yeah, it pisses me off. Yeah, I wish I could make music, man. I'd make sick music if I could make music. I say that I think I've got a good taste in music. I don't know that I would make good music, but I think I've got a good taste in music. Well, I've tried. I've got a music maker, but it's it ends up it gets very technical very quick. How do you structure it? How many bars should there be? How many bars in a repetition? Where do you put a chorus in? Like really quickly, I was like, oh my god, I don't know anything about music. I was like, holy shit. But if somebody sat me down with an MPC and a bunch of soul records and said, here we go, sample something and make a loop for someone else to turn into a beat, or make a sample of 16 seconds long, and I'll show you how to make it a beat, then I reckon I could make fucking absolutely incredible sample-based music, which is cheating, but isn't cheating. It's cheating, but then creative, if that makes sense. Because you're copying someone else's work, really. Yeah, I've got a music maker, and I bought one and then donated it because I never used it, but I'm not giving away this one. Definitely gonna find out before I die how to make it. Fuck it. When I get my big... Oh shit. Sorry. There's a bunch of enemies next to me. When I get my big music studio, bro, I'll give you a call. I hate to say it, but I don't think the new sword does that too much, bro. No, I think the old swords do just as much damage. Maybe they'll tune it though. Shit. That's one enemy that always catches me out. You know those Vex guys that like blow up when you shoot them? I'm always like really big balls, and then I punch one of them. Dead. Fuck. I don't know, maybe the sword is good if you use the right mouse click.
I didn't enjoy entertaining their inexhaustible games then, and I certainly don't now. Hopefully, you've had your fill.
You've unlocked the new status subclasses, haven't you? What do you think of them? It's a bit tough in PvP, I'll be honest. But, in all fairness, though, it's good crack. Being able to freeze people on demand, pretty toxic.
Velasque, friend. Some nights, grief calls to me. Does it call to you?
Me? She's KO'd. Choke my hand in there, waking her up every now and then. She's yeah, she is a very particular persistent sleeper. Do you want me to come and look at eBay with you?
No. I mean, like,
Is
I'll
it
show
giving you a good guide, is it?
Yeah, and it's made me, and I know you know this anyway. You still got this on? Turn it off.
So the bear cat.
And I know you already probably thought it anyway.
Elixni are not all warriors. We are builders, caretakers, negotiators, weavers, physicians. What can Verix do to aid you? You help Verix. Verix helps you. Do you know Tyra Karn, Guardian? She is kind and clever. What have you seen out there? Look beyond the frozen wasteland. Atrax, the first Elixni Exo. I did not think I would ever see such a thing. Do not underestimate a scribe. You have news, yes?
Guardian, are you there yet?
We just arrived.
Good. The Vex are attempting another incursion. Shut them down.
We're on it. Elizabeth, you must know why Clovis built the portal.
Greed. Obsession. The list is long. If you asked him, he would have told you he was saving humanity. Collecting the radiolarian fluid from the Vex that came through was the prime purpose. I wanted it shut down. Clovis wouldn't have it. Once again, he flew too close to the sun, and once again, the rest of us paid for it. Bastard.
Here they come.
Don't let even a single one escape.
attacks are down for the count.
Good riddance, evil bastards. Until next time.
Sorry, Jet, I was playing with Joe. Jet might not even be there anymore. Oh no, he is there, he's on mute. That's alright, bro. Yeah, sorry, we deliberated on how much and what to buy a car for. Oh, fucking, what is that? What's your beef? You little loud bastard. Excuse me. What you doing, Baba? Look at you, little munchkin. Hey? Oh, Jet, did I tell you that? Gonna be a dad, bro. Gonna be sick. You're worried about cutting the umbilical cord. But a bit worried about cutting the umbilical cord. Yeah. Got a hacksaw right. I don't know, just would it be weird? Would it be like gang 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 gang? Like it won't cut straight through and I'll be like just fighting back! Like chewing fat, like chewing fat, you know, like chewing fat on a steak. He's like it's chewing back. Yeah. Oh, I've cut his dick off. Oh no. He's making no, it's just that shouldn't happen. Famous last words. What are you doing on yours now? Do you know where they are? Oh, Jet, that's cheating. Yeah, you go looking for him. Shocking. Yeah! For 20 minutes, and I was like, fuck it. Get my head in. Yeah, but still, look. Yeah! I'm good, man. I'm on my good. Someone asked me to be in a raid with them on day one, like as soon as the raid come out. And they're like, oh, come on, bro, we need one. We just need one. And they were like, they only had 5 players for ages, for like fucking 2 hours. And I was like, nah, bro, I'm good. And I checked in, and it was honestly like fucking 3 hours into the raid, and they still hadn't got, no one was equipped with any new gear, so they were still fucking hadn't passed the first boss like 3 or 4 hours or 5 hours in. I was fucking glad that I didn't. That shit would have stressed me the fuck out. I wouldn't mind if it was me, you, I don't know, like Bubba, Phil, Monkey. Do you know what I mean? If there were a bunch of people that I consider my friends, I wouldn't mind trying to figure it out, but that shit can get stressful, man. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, I suppose that makes sense. It's probably episodes that are. What was that? That's what that sounded like.
Dysphoria, hopelessness, lack of motivation, crying spells without the catharsis of actual tears. Wesley, too, suffers from major depressive disorder without psychotic features. For now, anyway. As an aside, he correctly pointed out the redundancy of my taking notes in session. After all, every one of us is backed up to the Braytech memory bank. But the ritual isn't.
I was saying the Bubba really, actually, I met I got somebody new working for me at work, and he makes his own beard oils. Yeah. He sent me his on Esty. Esty, Esty, S-E-S-T-Y, Esther, Etsy. Thank you. That's the one. Thank you. Yeah, he sent me the link. But they look like the packaging's really bad. Like it looks like a guy that lives in this month. But yeah, I'll buy a couple next week. Shaved lots of my beard off mine, but I'll grow it back. Yeah, I thought that was a bit fucking funky, and make your own beard oils. Cigar lover. Man, boy. You been enjoying it? Underrated, that stuff is. Moisturizer and that. Underrated moisturizer. Conditioning your beard. Sorry, I'm stood far away from the mic. You. Mine's my dick, ball bag, armpits, and beard and teeth. That's like, and then head. If you had like a heat map of the most washed areas of me, it's going to be beard, teeth, ball bag, dick, armpits. Sorry, I just hit the mic then. It's been good to me, this mic, actually. That's a win. I think they're like the podcasting 101, isn't it? They're like the... Sorry, Jez. Bonjour. That was a disaster. So when Drew Shroud sold his soul to the devil at the crossroads for his aim. Do you know who Shroud is? He's got, I don't know if you ever watch anybody play shooting games, he's got arguably, to me, the best aim.
We'll live forever, he said. In history and in reality. Should have known he was selling us a bill of goods. But when we followed him through that gate, into an impossible world, when we witnessed creatures that mechanize their own sun, oh, it was just as romantic as I'd imagined when we set out for this godforsaken ice cube. I thought, I'll never forget this as long as I live. How pitifully ironic.
the city. Gosh, failed the Nightfall yet. Said we failed the Nightfall. Yeah, the two guys I'm with just keep dying repeatedly. Fair play, one of them has got fucking 100 kills, I've only got 7, but... Oh, so you can use that nade.
You're saying I've been
Robert Johnson, is he singing all the songs as well? Yeah, as well as playing the fucking...
completely wiped.
I don't know what guitar he's playing here. It sounds quite like heavily
Just been
acoustic.
having this real strong craving for my mom's potato onion.
What does that
pierogies
mean?
is all. I know what you've programmed, but why would you specify a food made by a person I
With
don't know and will
a
never
figure 8 shape with a hole in the middle.
A glitch. That's what I
Yeah.
figured. Because you'd have to be pretty twisted to curse me to eternal dissatisfaction on purpose.
Can. Are you serious? Why into a can? Amplification. Jesus. That sounds dreadful. So you go to somewhere where you spent a fortune to get a record deal and studio time, and they'd have a tin of Heinz beans in front of you. Not quite a tin of Heinz beans, I know, but... Really? Is that because he was suppressed, or because the blues community wasn't as big as it should have been, because blues wasn't as big as it should have been? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. That's the funny thing about modern technology and quote unquote popular culture. Like, it only becomes so because it can become so. I I don't know anything about it, but should I tell you what I take from this already? I think there's a Yoda in the woods that teaches you. Honestly, I think there's a Yoda in the woods that teaches you that isn't mainstream, and it was an unknown science. There was an unknown cadence. There was an unknown rhythm, and there was an orthodoxy of the day that you would have tried to follow, like a Beethoven, like a Bach, like anybody deemed classical in the past. That was like, if you don't follow X, then you're an outcast. But then the outcasts become the ones we remember. And I wonder if there was somebody, and if there was just a tutor, there was just a guy in a shack in the woods. That's what I mean by a Yoda, just a teacher, a tutor. There was somebody that was like made the instruments sing. I don't know a lot about Jimi Hendrix. I've not listened to a lot of Jimi. Yeah, and it was just you can go and speak to this person, and the quote unquote sell your soul is the don't play the instrument or fiddle with the instrument in the way that you should have, in the way that is taught, in the way that is believed to be classical, quote unquote. But if you follow this advice by this stranger in the woods, this Yoda figure, they'll teach you how to pour your emotion into the instrument and get something very different than everybody else is claiming to have pulled out of it. I'm making that up, mate. That's like type of deal, but that's what that feels like to me. It's like everybody did it A way, but there was some weirdo somewhere that did it B way. But if you were really musically inclined and you paid attention to how you felt when you were playing it, then you would be like, yeah, actually, I understand what you're saying there, mate. I want to play the drums in this way. I want to play the tambourine this way. I want to play the harmonica in this way, because it's not the boring cadence. Is no, I keep saying cadence because I mean rhythm and pacing. That's what I'm trying to say by cadence. I don't know if I'm classifying that right. Anyway, that's a fucking retard that don't know anything talking there. Like I'll definitely dig into it. That's interesting. This coincidental and married up. Well, that's something I find quite super fascinating about music, is the fact that, you know, if I'm completely honest with myself, although you can claim that it had not existed before in its form, almost all of the music that I really like, and I don't mean JJ Graham or Mobro, I don't mean Al Green, I don't mean any of that, like any of the hip hop or recent music that I really like the stuff that gets me going. Doesn't mean I don't love rhythm and blues, I do, but I don't know it to be my first, I don't know, language, if you like. It's all borrowed. It's all somebody doing something else with something else from somebody else. It was made before, and somebody had saw something in it to bring up into this version of it, but it's not the original version. If that makes any sense, like sampling. Sampling is an art, but you've got to be honest with yourself. Somebody else made it first, and somebody else made something so complex and beautiful that you saw a fucking 1, 2, 3 bar, 4 bar snippet that you decided to build a track around, but it existed way bigger than the telescopic view you've just taken. And I find that quite nuts. There's so much music that isn't original, if that makes any sense. So from my perspective, like if I say, oh, I love this genre of music, well, that means that almost exclusively all the music that I like wasn't born first when I heard it, or by the person that I've heard it from. It was made before and chopped and changed, and yeah, and I don't know, that there's something very, for me, very weird about that. Like that's not cool, really, when you think about it. That's like, that's right. And like, why could somebody not have made a second? Like, why was it easier to copy the first? Why couldn't you have done an I don't know. There's just something a bit funny about that to me, that is inspiring to copy what was. It's not easy to make what could be. I don't know. That's just a little bit weird. That's like, yeah. Sorry, that definitely sounds like beer talk to me. But that's like, it's a bit weird. That. must be I know we were saying it earlier, but it must be really tough to take lots of the stuff that I watch on the podcast that I follow and the stuff that I read is like, oh, did you know you were making insert whatever hit at the time you were making it? And almost universally people are like, no. You get a good feeling, you think you're onto something, but no, you haven't got a fucking clue whether you're making a hit or not at the time. You haven't got a it's just a feeling in the room. You don't know what's going on. Yeah, so yeah, that's right. Or they might pay attention where other people wouldn't have, and that gives it a moment to breathe. And that's that. Do you know what? That's probably an observation as to how genres are split. So, like, although I didn't like it, there's a genre called trap,
Who in the hell do you think
which is
you
South
are?
Atlanta.
Excuse me?
Yeah, trap music. I don't like it. That's not for me. But it was a whole thing that was born because a handful of people who were influential made a sound, and they made everybody else follow that sound. So to
Are
speak.
you?
More than just an AI? Indeed. I am an exact replica of
Talking
Clovis
nonsense.
Bray
I'm enjoying
First's
this one.
consciousness.
Thank you.
Woken, thanks to the intruders in the crypt.
Those guardians weren't the intruders. They were trying to protect it from the Fallen.
Fallen?
But yeah,
An alien race.
this
that
is a
appeared
wonderful
after the
example. This
collapse.
one of my top 3 producers is a
Sounds
like a
I
very
have much
unassuming
to
guy
catch
called
up
the
on.
Alchemist,
I suppose if you're
which
telling
is
the
a
truth.
kind of a cool name. I didn't realize this was just then saying it. If you're familiar with the tale of the Alchemist, it's
Perhaps you can
an assumed
refrain
bunch of
from
people
further
that have
destroying
known how
my
to.
life's
Well,
work.
their whole gimmick was the pursuit of knowledge in being able to turn unassuming metals into gold. Yeah, so you make something out of nothing, I guess is the analogy. And Nazi's a producer, so he takes a sample and he makes something out of it. I just realized, I don't know why. I had never realized that until then when I said this. I was like, oh, actually, that's quite sick. Alchemist, he makes something out of nothing. Like, he takes raw ingredients and makes a beat. But he does like loads of like almost like obscure samples. Like he wouldn't sample like an obvious record. He wouldn't go to an Al Green or something like that. He'll sit there and listen to like fucking Polish opera and shit like that. To find this little, and I find that so mad because you're going so far away from norm to you're making it more difficult than making something new is what I'm trying to say there, and I find that quite interesting. But to him, he would say like, no, that's the point. I'm supposed to be finding something new in something old. But yeah, I don't know. I find that. Yeah, I just find that whole thing a bit. That's like just a bit crazy to my head. But yeah,
Artificial
sick though.
intelligence
I'd love to be that way inclined. Like,
Oh,
imagine if you could
you
just
here.
listen to something and be like,
And
yeah,
what should I
can
help
make a
you
beat
with
out of
this
that, I can
time?
make a beat out of that. That'd be
It's
fucking
our
super.
friend, Banshee. An
But
exo.
know that it would slap
He
as
had
well,
scattered
like know
visions
how,
of dead
oh yeah,
exos
and
that
these
mentioned
drums
a
and this,
blade
that,
and
and
led
this,
to
that, and the
you.
third. That would be
Did you say
incredible.
Banshee?
Yes, he's our gunsmith.
How interesting. You're after the blade then, I assume.
We're just out to help our friend make sense of his memories. Hoping the blade helps with that.
Yes, I'm aware of where it lies.
Oh, in case you're wondering, one of the
Prove you're
things you
worth
need
my
to do.
time first.
Oh, I need to be
Same
quiet
to
now.
you.
Found me in. When you go to the Merrick, there's a second tab. That's all I'll say. You can buy something from them.
see.
He was in Nessus. If he is still around, I don't think he will be. In the Watcher's grave to the right hand side. Hey, Schmackles, look at you. Sorry, Jez, I was just into a cutscene then. Ooh, I gotta find entropic shards. Knows what they are. Could be.
Artemis may be out of commission, but her followers carry on. Let's make sure those Briggs join their Kell in stasis.
Bro, loads of this guy's music is being copied. Ba-bum, ba-bum, ba-bum. That's been copied a billion times. Yeah. Ba-bum, 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 ba-bum. That's been copied. Even the fucking after that. The bam, ba-bam. Yeah, this is. Makes me worried that even as like a an idiot that doesn't know anything, and if I can recognize a fucking jingle or I can recognize a pattern, and like shit, man, this must be boom, 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 boom. But there's like 4 samples in this one. What song is this? I don't believe I'll dust my broom. I can literally hear like 6 samples in this song already. And but yeah, there's just so much in it I can hear it. Like that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Is he singing his own songs as well, Jed? Jesus. I'm listening. Sorry, I've gone quiet because I'm just listening to him. I took very literally what you said earlier about him playing the guitar, but was it the fact that he came into the studio and could write and record blues music as is? Yeah, okay. Because I'm hearing a lot of Ray Charles in it, but I don't know where the timelines intersect. And there's something really strange about how beautiful music came from South America. Almost exclusively, no great music came from North or Northern America until hip hop from New York. I find that really weird. Yeah, I find that really, really strange. And that's not to say that people didn't go to, um, I don't know, Chicago or Atlanta or New York to record, but in terms of their roots and where their, what would you say, their melody came from, it's South predominantly for a long time. Yeah, yeah, all of that. I don't know what you call that, the Bible Belt. It was all of that for a long, 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 long time. I find that really strange. It's not just really strange. You know, some people might say, "Oh, well, you know, people working on plantations is that's all we had was the songs and stuff to get us going," which is um, I don't know, for lack of a better word, fine. But people still would have made music outside of plantations. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't like they had the exclusive ownership of it. I just find it really weird that there's such a distinct mark, I guess. Anyway, so I'm talking nonsense. Just the way I see stuff is that's really weird. Reality. Oh, really? I didn't know that. An instruction. Oh. Yeah, well, yeah, go right, go left, go fucking down there 2 miles down. I had no fucking idea that was a thing, bro. Yeah, I had no idea that was a thing. Gosh, that's incredible. Is that real? Wow. Yeah. And that's being absolutely used in I don't know how many songs since. Do you know what I mean? That's crazy.
Acknowledged.
You get what I mean by that, don't you?
Perhaps a barter
like
is warranted.
When you hear something that could be reference material, you're like, fucking hell.
It's good to see you alive, Guardian. I was wondering.
That'd be a good job for me, a music historian. Recent music though, I don't really like classic music. I find it boring.
Until it's done.
I can fix this.